As we are thoroughly into the spooky season of Scorpio, it's time to go through some Scorpio health considerations for their nutrition, movement, and what benefits them best. So, if you have Scorpio in your chart, or you are a Scorpio yourself, you're going to want to listen up. As we have mentioned previously, Scorpio rules the human genitals in the reproductive system of the body. So this is where they get their vital force from. A big theme of Scorpios is the method of excretion. So not only do they rule the sweat glands, but they also rule the colon, the rectum, as well as the anus. They also rule the sacrum as well as the coccyx bones, which is where the nerves go to innervate these particular organs of the human body. And ironically, the word sacrum is Latin for soul. Regarding Scorpio nutrition, the main theme we want to think about is transformation. So the goal is to assist the body in transforming the food and eliminating waste energy for the best possible efficiency. This means that intestinal health has to be the number one priority for Scorpios. And speaking of elimination, fiber is of number one importance for Scorpios. The signs actually in the entire zodiac that need the most amount of fiber are actually Scorpios as well as their descendant sign of Taurus. Many times if I find a Scorpio patient who has issues, the root issue actually starts within their gut. Colonizing the gut with beneficial bacteria is the number one priority for Scorpios. So with that being said, things like prebiotic foods such as asparagus, beans, legumes, these are all really good things that are going to actually help benefit their gut health. We also can't forget about probiotic foods such as kimchi, sauerkraut, fermented vegetables, as well as yogurts. In regards to movement, the main theme for Scorpios is power, because believe it or not, they're actually one of the strongest signs in the entire zodiac. So the only issues that arise because of its power is they arise from a power imbalance. What will benefit Scorpios the most is actually having a foot in both realms, much like how they do in real life. And what this actually means is that they need to have something that has intensity and power, coupled with dramatic self-expression. For the strength and conditioning of a Scorpio, peak performance and power are the foundations of a great program. That being said, the goal is to train metabolism to a well-oiled machine. So keeping lifts simple, as well as lifting at sub-maximal loads with strategic rest, and staying around like an 85% pace throughout the entire workout is paramount for them to be keeping strong and healthy. Scorpio running is similar. They want to have like a threshold with running. So they can do things that are like 90% effort for 2 minutes, and then walk for 2 minutes, and then repeat for like 5 to 8 sets. And this will really benefit them. But they're also a water sign, so they can kind of cruise for a long period of time running as well. The goal with yoga for a Scorpio is to awaken power and a catharsis for them. Pelvic instability as well as congestion are common Scorpio issues. So the reality is that it's good to include regular groin as well as hip mobility into a routine. Some sports and classes that are good for Scorpios include powerlifting, Olympic lifting, primal movements like animal flow, and who would have guessed but pole dancing. Some clinical key things I've seen with Scorpio patients that have been related to their health have been things like nasal congestion, runny nose, because Scorpio actually does rule parts of the nose as well. And they can actually have some bladder issues, so it's really important to watch out for things like UTIs and honestly, sometimes STDs and STIs. I actually had one patient years ago that she had a episode where she would throw up every single morning. And going back to what we've talked about with gut health, once we got her set up with an herbalist, she actually got a lot better and she could tolerate adjustments better and they held better. So this is just an anecdotal personal thing that happened with a patient of mine. But, if somebody's suffering out there, I hope that even that 1% can help you. So I hope you've learned something as always, and I hope you keep enjoying your Scorpio season. So happy Halloween, Feliz Dia de los Muertos, y hasta luego.